I see some people here know me. Who here is a Bitcoin holder? Bitcoin, all right. Ether, any Ether holders? Almost the same hands. What about everybody else? Who's not a holder? Raise your hand, don't be shy. All right, download a wallet right now. It's the first thing you do. Download a wallet, I'll send you some coins, okay? I'm serious. I'm an investor in Abra, A-B-R-A. Go ahead and download that wallet. If you don't like Abra, use Coinbase or something else, but get engaged. Just sitting here and listening to people like me talk is not gonna get you anywhere, okay? So download a wallet, join the community. That's what I'm talking about. The next 100 million people, at least I'll get like 100 out of this room, you know? I have a long way to go. So, I have a clicker, or are you gonna do it? It's here? Oh, okay. That's easy. So, P2P, decentralized lending and borrowing wallet. That sounds complicated. So let me tell you a quick story. I'm an immigrant. I came to this country about 30 years ago, but before I came to this country, me and my family were refuseniks in Russia. Anyone here knows what a refusenik is? A few of you, all right. It's somebody who got refused. We tried to leave Russia and they wouldn't let us out. And, you know, I was like 7 years old or something, and my dad and my grandfather were sitting there listening to Voice of America, you know, in their hidden basement, because it was illegal to do that in Russia back then. And, you know, they both lost their jobs because they were trying to leave the country, and that was like against the communism, you know, that was like showing that you don't care about communism. Man, that was bad. 1972 comes, and guess what happens? Arm & Hammer and Nixon get together and exchange 300,000 metric tons of wheat for 300,000 Jews from Russia. Anyone here knows about that story? Oh, there's only 2 guys, come on. Anyway, I was one of those, me and my family, 4 people, left Russia in 1972 because of that. So I'm here, I spent the last 30 years in the United States repaying for 4 metric tons of wheat. That's what people ask me, why are you here? That's why I'm here. Is that a good story? I love the story of the lady in front of me. I forgot her name, but that's an amazing story, right? America is built on that. It's built on passion. It's built on people actually trying to do something. So I came to this country. I was lucky enough to land here in the late 80s, built a few technology companies. 1994, I built the first VoIP gateway. Anyone here is using VoIP? No, you all need to raise your hands. If you made a voice call today, if you made a video call, you're using voice over IP. I wrote the original protocols for that. I filed the original patents, built the first gateway, went to AT&T, showed it to them, and they were like, man, this is good. We're going to put it in our network and make a few extra $1 billion. And I was like, no, you don't get it. This is for the entire human race. This is not just for you. Does this sound familiar? Who's trying to inject the blockchain into their back office so they can squeeze an extra few $1 billion? Any names? Every bank you know is now sitting there and saying, decentralization? Ah, that's a joke. We're just going to take this technology, plug it into our back office, and squeeze a few extra $1 billion out of it. And the room here, plus an extra 100 million people that we need to recruit, is standing between that, between humanity moving to the next level, to the next stage, and the banks just making a little bit more money. That's what's at stake. Thank you. And I'm only on slide 1. Imagine what's coming after this. So when I'm talking about this, I'm not talking about stuff that I read in the books or I saw in a movie. 1 billion people use VoIP every day. 1 billion people use VoIP every day. Now, obviously, I didn't do it all by myself, but the point is that when you have transformative technology, a revolution, everybody figures it out and everybody comes and starts marching. And this is a revolution. It's not an evolution. This is not just a little bit better banking or a little better healthcare or a little bit better whatever else. It's a revolution. Every few hundred years something like this happens. Now the world had enough of large companies getting larger and the guys at the top of a pyramid making everything, earning everything, and it's moving to decentralization. No slides. All right, kick it. Here we go. Try to go back. Oop. Slide 2. This is it. So, 100 million users, cryptocurrency is the future of finance. And the reason for it is that our financial system is stretched to the limit. We've used every bazooka possible on reflating ourselves out of trouble. 2008 was a huge stress for the system, and what did we do? We just printed a few $1 trillion, threw it out at the system, right? Bailed out everybody, the good and the bad and the ugly, and here we are. We didn't fix anything. Anyone disagrees? Anyone here disagrees? All right, so we're all on the same page. So cryptocurrency comes, it came out of that. Satoshi looked at the system, whoever he or she is, and said, we need a better system. We need something new, something better, something different that has nothing to do with that system. It's not about tweaking that system, adding few screws or changing it a little bit. It's a completely new system. Crypto is a replacement for the existing financial system. Anyone disagrees with that? All right, we're on the same page. I can move to the next slide. So I put all of that, everything I just talked about, in a very simple formula, so all of you can figure it out. You can remember it pretty easily. E equals MC squared. Anyone here knows what that stands for? Come on, guys. I know it's late in the afternoon, but seriously? E stands for? Energy. No. Anyone else? Anyone who saw this movie before? E stands for, try it again. E, Ethereum. Here we go. Somebody here seen it. Okay. So now you get a little bit the message. M stands for? No. Money. What else? Moose? No. No moose. Anything else? Any ideas? Huh? I didn't hear you. What? More money? No, members, guys. If you want your ether to be worth anything, you need a lot of members. You need a lot of people. I'm here to talk about 100 million people that haven't joined yet and why they haven't joined and what we need to do. All you guys who didn't have a wallet, download the wallet. Don't listen to what I'm talking about. Finish downloading the wallet, register, give me your address so I can send you some coins. C squared, 2 C's. What does that stand for? Consensus? Community? What? What else? Mass? No, not mass. What? Cryptography. All right, all of those are good answers. All those are good answers. But if you want any crypto to be worth anything, you need a lot of members and you need a lot of credit. Why is credit? The United States is built on credit. Half of all the credit on the planet is issued in the United States. That's why we are the power, the economic engine of the world. That's why we are the reserve currency of the world. All these things go back to credit. Whoever has the credit can basically print the money. All right, so bragging, a little bit of bragging on myself. So besides Arbanet, which was a VoIP company, I also founded, I did 7 startups in a row. You know, I'm an underachiever. And I have 6 kids at home. Yes, 6 kids, believe it or not. So I have 2 of the top 10 exits in New York in the last 20 years, okay? I've raised over $1 billion and I've returned over $3 billion to my investors, right? All those companies that I built are centralized companies. Right? I know a thing or two about centralized companies. And Celsius is all about decentralization. It's all about replacing the existing system with a decentralized solution that will bring the next 100 million people into crypto. Because if we don't bring them into crypto, all we're going to end up from all of this big party here is JP Morgan with an extra $10 billion in profit. Anyone here votes for that versus a whole new, oh, here we go. A guy works for JP Morgan. Security, take him out. Come on, take this guy out. I love the banks. Just, you know, they just don't do anything for you or for me. They take, sir, What's your name? Here. What's your name? Dominic. They take Dominic $100 and they give it to the guy right next to him. What's your name? Paul. They take your $100, they give it to him, they give you 1%, and they charge him 25% on his credit card. Now that is a good business, right? You got to admit it, right? Now, why don't they pay you 5%? Is there any reason in the world why the bank cannot pay you 5%? You know why? Because they don't have to. You can go to any bank in the United States and no one will pay you 5% for your $100. Why? They're all in it together. They don't have to, right? Why are they charging 25%? When the Fed lowered the interest rates, did any of your credit card rates go down? Anyone here? Right? So we bailed them out. Who bailed out all the banks? Whose money was giving to these banks? Ours. So who bailed them out? We bailed them out. And now they're charging us even more. We used to get at least 5% in the bank. I remember when I came to this country in 1988, 8%. I used to get just from putting my money in the bank. So the power the banks have, and I'm only on slide 3. The power the banks have is because we deposit our money in their branches. You stop depositing money in their branches, what is going to happen? How powerful is going to be Mr. JP Morgan right there? Very powerful? Not without our money, no chance. Zilch. Zilch, the entire balance sheet is based on all of our deposits, okay? So if you want to make a change and you want to have an impact, you better put some money into crypto because that's the only thing that is for the people, by the people, okay? 90% of coins at the same time are going to be worthless. So you have to be very careful. You know, no one, if anyone tells you, I know who the winners are and who the losers are, just laugh at him, okay? No one knows who the winners are and who the losers are. I'm giving you a few examples here. I'm an advisor to some of these companies. I invested in some others. These are some of the best ideas that came out of crypto, okay? And these companies managed to raise a lot of money, and these are the best hopes we have in crypto. At the same time, there's a lot of bad projects out there. Very, very bad projects. So you have to do your homework. You have to really understand what you're doing. If you're funding a bad project, you are hurting the good ones. Just think about it that way. If you're funding bad projects, you're hurting the good ones because you're taking money that should have gone to support this community and you're giving it to things that should not exist in the first place. So we went through a wave of infrastructure build out. Just like in the internet, those were the Ciscos and all the guys who build the hardware and the rails, the fiber optic, all that stuff. Then we went through companies that did middleware. Now it's all about dApps, distributed applications. Facebook, Google, all those things are dApps. The biggest companies on the internet are all dApps. The biggest companies in crypto are going to be all dApps. Okay, so anyone here played Pac-Man? Anyone likes Pac-Man? Pac-Pac? Oh my God. You guys are either too young or you're not, there's not a single nerd in the room here. Anyway, Pac-Man eats all the guys on the screen, right? Same thing with crypto. Crypto is going to eat all the money in the world. You don't believe me? Just wait. I've seen this movie before. Just like when I came to AT&T, I said, all voice is going to be an application on the internet, and they laughed at me. You know, guess where we are today? All voice is an application on the internet. It only took 20-something years, and it sometimes doesn't work, but VoIP is just an app. It's a dApp. Pac-Man is going to eat all money. Okay? You just give it enough time. Why? There's no other outcome. There's not enough hands in the world to support all the debt that we're carrying. And as each hand, especially your children and grandchildren, basically say, I don't want this. I'm coming back home. You know, boomerangs. You know boomerangs? The guys who go to college, graduate, say, I can't afford an apartment. I'm not going to get a mortgage. I don't want to get married. Back with my parents. Let them pay all the bills. Who's going to pay the debt? 22 trillion. What's behind a $100 bill? Do you know? 22 trillion in debt. It's worse than nothing. If it was nothing, at least it would be like Bitcoin. There's nothing behind Bitcoin, just the money that was put in. Behind the dollar, there's 22 trillion in debt, and we just passed a new law, an additional 1.7 trillion in additional debt because we had to give more money to the rich guys. They're going to evict me out of here in a few minutes. If you see guys coming for security, it's not for him, it's for me. Okay, who's the guy in the middle? Anyone knows? If you don't know Pac-Man, you definitely don't know who this guy is. Who is it? Try again. No, it's Satoshi showing us the way, guys. Okay? This is Satoshi walking the kids and telling them, hey, let me show you the way. Who here read Satoshi's paper? Okay. Who here has a wallet and read Satoshi's paper? That was a joke question. But seriously, if you don't know what crypto is about, go and read that paper. Go to sleep and then read it again. Okay? Because unless you put it in context, you're not going to understand what this is all about. So Satoshi showed us the way. All we delivered was Ether and Litecoin and a bunch of other guys. And guess what? Those guys are all grown up and saying, thank you, Satoshi. We'll take it from here. You guys definitely are tired. Usually I get like claps, people are cheering. You guys are like, oh my God. All right. All right, all right. Okay. I should have brought some extra coffee for the room. I bought it. And the next time we'll sponsor the coffee. So with disruption comes great responsibility. Right now, people are throwing crazy money on crazy ideas. I just heard that Telegram raised over $1.5 billion. Okay? Telegram has nothing to do with crypto. I'll tell you a secret. It has nothing to do with the blockchain or consensus or an open ledger or anything for that purpose. Okay? It's just rich guys are putting money hoping it's going to get richer. It has nothing to do with this community. I have more Telegram scammers on my channel right now than actual subscribers. Okay? Which is horrible, and Telegram is not doing anything about it. So if we are not going to regulate this ourselves, guess who's going to regulate it for us? The government, the SEC, the CFTC, all these guys are sitting there scratching their heads saying, how long are we going to let these guys get away with this? So we all have to get together and take the next step. All right? At the same time, I'm very, very bullish because there are great projects. There are people like the speaker in front of me. I'm not sure they'll get to the finish line, but you know their heart is in the right place. And you know that you have a better chance changing the world investing in that project than investing in Telegram. Okay? So I'm a VC as well. I invest in over 200 companies. Everything, my successes and my failures are listed on my website. Go to Mashinsky.com, my last name, and you will see the story of my life with all of my successes, including my failures. I said no to Sergey Brin when he was still in Stanford. I said to him, who needs another search engine? You crazy? You know? But here, I also had a few successes, so I can't complain. These are the 5 things you need to really have an amazing project. Okay? World-class team. A token that lives on the blockchain, meaning you take out the token or the coins and all the wheels stop turning. Right? If you take out ETH out of Ethereum, what happens? Does it continue running? Right? Everything stops to a halt. Guess what? 90% of all crypto projects, when you take out their token, everything continues running. So that's your smell test, right? If you're talking to a founder or an entrepreneur, anyone who's telling you, please invest in my project, ask them that simple question. What happens to your project when I take out the token? Are you just here for money grab, or are you actually trying to build something? The application needs broad global consensus to exist. Who here doesn't know what consensus is? I bet you half of the investors that invested in all these projects don't know what consensus is. You don't know what consensus is? Go online. There's 100 great video tutorials about what is consensus. And there's not one consensus. There's already like 20 different types of consensus. So if you want to understand where the industry is going, you need to understand the evolution of consensus. Has strong investment endorsement. Who else put money in this project? If there isn't anyone there you know what they say in the room. If you don't know who the jokester in the room is or who the posse, you are the one. Sorry? Exactly. And the token economics creates a new economy for user. Bitcoin, Ether created a new economy, a completely new economy that did not exist before. And those things need to intersect, okay? So your decentralization, your token economics, your immutable platform need to intersect, and only the guys that are in the bullseye are the guys that are gonna survive. Because we're gonna have our own nuclear winter. It's coming. I bet you that the Telegram $2 billion raise is the peak of the market. So why is Celsius creating a cell token, right? Do we really need another one? Do we really need another token? Do people here even know what the difference between a token and a coin? What's the difference? People use that interchangeably, but those are completely two different systems. A coin is a project that has its own blockchain. Ethereum is a coin. Bitcoin is a coin. Litecoin is a coin. Okay? There are a lot of other things that use somebody else's blockchain. They are tokens. They're just buses going on somebody else's highway. And they may have an internal mechanism. There's people moving inside the bus and all that stuff. But they are themselves, an ERC20 token is somebody who's riding a bus on the Ethereum highway. So we're finally getting to the next 100 million people. That's our mission. Our mission, E equals MC squared, is to bring 100 million people into crypto. Because if we don't, the whole thing will collapse on itself and the banks will just be celebrating. Mr. What's your name? Never mind, I'm just kidding. I'm just picking on you, you know. In every room, there's one guy we can pick on. So you were brave enough to raise your hand. So we're solving three problems. One, the world runs on dollars. You want to change that? You're going to need a mass adoption with something people actually can use. In our case, we do two very simple things. We pay you interest, 5% interest. We issue loans against crypto for 9%. We turn around and give 5% to you. Is that simple? Pretty simple, right? It's that simple. Who here can get 9% loans against the crypto? Who here can get 15% loans against the crypto? Who here can get 25% loans, 25% interest? Who here can get any loan against the crypto? Well, that is the main obstacle. Most people on the planet cannot afford to just park 1 Ether or 10 Ether or 5 Bitcoins or whatever and just wait for it to go up. They don't have that money. So what we do is we enable them to bridge that gap, right? They can come in, they can put the money they do have to work, and at the same time get some of it back, or at least get access to that money. 9% a year, most of the world will say, yes, I'll take that. Or they can just park their coins and earn 5%, right? So we use proof of stake. We're creating a giant pool of Bitcoin. We put it with a custodian. All of you, let's say, contributed your Bitcoin. We put it in a bank. We have a bank who actually agreed to take our Bitcoin. And against that giant pool, against people staking their coins, we're issuing dollar loans. This has never happened since Bitcoin was created. Okay, so that's the innovation. You're saying, what's new about this project? It's consensus-based. It's running on the blockchain. It is using proof of stake. Power to the people. Thank you. So, this is how it actually runs. I'm not going to go through all of this. It's way complicated and I have only 5 minutes left. So, go to the website, celsius.network. There are reams and reams of materials there to explain to you all of this. We have a few hundred hours of videos to explain to you how everything works. Okay? This is about the community. It's not about me. Okay? This is about giving back. This is about creating the community. This is about growing the community. And we're about replacing the banks. This is what the wallet looks like. Anyone has a wallet like this in their pocket? What about you guys, the guys who just downloaded it? How's that? Did the wallet you download look like this? So the Android wallet is out. You can download that immediately. Just do a search for Celsius Network. The iOS wallet is not out. Apple decided that we are a crypto company, so they're holding us up. What a great idea, right? Apple deciding who wins and who loses. So we're waiting for them. Hopefully in the next few days they'll resolve that. I'm willing to go all the way to the Supreme Court on this one. So we talked about the wallet that earns interest. I went through all of that. I want to leave a few minutes for questions, so I'm going to skip a bunch of things. Watch the video. We have a video of this actually running on testnet, so you know this stuff actually works. Platform security. The most important thing about it, instead of reading all of this, is to let you know that unlike any other platform, we're the only guys, when we give you an address to move your coins, it goes into cold storage. Today, when you buy a coin and it sits on an exchange, do you know what the exchange does with your coin? They front run you. They lend them out to short sellers. They create volatility. That's how exchanges make money. The more volatility, the more money they create. For us, the more stability we have, the more the banks trust us to lend out against that asset. So we have the opposite incentive. The bank's job is to maximize profit. Our job is to maximize membership. That's why we do it for 9%, because we're not trying to make money. We're trying to bring as many people as possible into this thing. Okay? So if you haven't downloaded the Aber wallet, download the Celsius wallet. You know? No, that was a joke. You guys are really sleepy. Can you give them something to, like, you know, like, I don't know, vitamin C, I don't know what, a kick in the ass, something. Today, $500 billion worth of crypto, what? Thank you.
We're not falling asleep. We're mesmerized.
All right. Thank you. $500 billion, zero interest earned. $500 billion, zero interest. If you put that $500 billion in a bank, unfortunately, they'll pay you $5 billion a year. Okay? We think that our money is worth more than that. So let's get the crypto to work for us. Let's get our money, our crypto, to work for us instead of us working for the money. All right? So 3 things to remember. VoIP to MoIP. If you understand how VoIP changed the world, think about how MoIP, money over IP, is going to change the world. Money over IP, it's that simple. 20 years from now, you guys will be sitting there saying, oh yeah, I was in the beginning of MoIP. You know, yeah, I was in the room. I was the one. I got like 10 million people all by myself into this thing. E equals MC squared. You guys remember what E equals MC squared stands for? Here's a clue, just a reminder. All right. And P2P, power to the people, right? If you're not doing it for the right reason, stop doing it. This is our team. We have a great team. We have 35 people. We have more women than men. The only company in crypto that has more women than men. Roadmap, you can see that online. And join us on Telegram. Don't get scammed. Don't listen to anybody there who asking you for money. We will never ask you to send us money. Never. Okay? Unfortunately, we had a few people who fell for scams, and I really feel bad for them. Questions? We have 1 minute. Quick. All right. Now we have 30 minutes to ask questions, you know. All right. Quick. Questions. Yeah, over there.
I saw some of the news comments by the end of last year. It says Russian government, the advisor will cryptocurrencies like as another to prevent the sanction from the U.S. and European governments. What's your comment about this? And then second, like in U.S. and Europe, the drug dealers, they use like bitcoins through the money brokers, for the drug dealings and money launderings. And also there's the famous, like the Russian money launderings, for over 4 billion bitcoins, he was arrested in Greece. So what are all your comments about my 3 questions?
I hope I understood the question, but the first question, the no government can control this. Not the Russian government, not the UK government, not the US government. No one is in charge of Ethereum or Bitcoin or Celsius, okay? No one is in charge of it. It either works and all the people vote for it and they're part of that platform, or they vote with their feet, right? Anyone in this room can switch from one to the other like this. So the beauty of it is it's a global platform, it's fungible, and not a single person can say, I control this or that. So anyone who tells you differently does not understand anything about crypto. The whole purpose of this thing is to be decentralized and not in control. Volatility, there are definitely many, many people who are creating volatility here who are here to profit from all of this. And all of us, we're like a herd. They scare us, we run to that side of the room, and then they buy all the coins because the prices went down, and then we all come back to our seats, and then they sell us their coins back because we always buy at the wrong place. I have less coins today than I had in 2013. Do you know why? I tried to time the market. I tried to buy and sell, and I've been doing it for 30 years and I didn't get it right. So if any of you thinks that you can figure out when to buy and when to sell, you're idiots. I'm an idiot, okay? HODL. Do you know what HODL stands for? It's not a misspell. Anyone who told you it's a misspell doesn't know anything about crypto. HODL stands for hold on to dear life. HODL. So do not buy, do not sell. Put the money you can afford into the top 4 coins. I showed you the 4 names, right? And just let the turtles do the work for you. Next question. Yes? Who determines the size of the blocks? Each blockchain has its own block and its own size and its own system. So the race is not to the size of the blocks. The race is more who can figure out the formula to complete the block. So it's like a puzzle where all the miners in the world are competing to figure out what's the right answer, and the one who figures it out through computational process gets to close that block. So the block size is always the same. So Litecoin has much smaller block sizes than Bitcoin, for example. That's why it runs much faster, and so on and so on. Next question. Grab a mic.
If you're giving 9% interest, how do you make money and how do you safeguard the wallet?
Our mission is not to make money. If I charge you 9 and I'm paying him 5, obviously I'm making money. But in the beginning, if I'm charging you 9 and I'm paying him 5, I'm making money. I'm making 4%. If I have 1,000 members, it costs me 4% to run my business. If I have 1 million members, I can charge you only 1%. And that's what we plan to do. We plan to lower the interest rate and we plan to increase the payout. So in my ideal world, we will be charging 6, we'll be charging 7 and paying out 6. Okay? Why? Because if we have 1 million members, we don't need to make that money. All of the compensation of every one of those people you saw in the platform, those 35 people, they all get tokens. They're all in it to increase the value of the token. The value of the token has to do with the size of the community. The value of Ethereum, the ETH, has to do with the size of the community. That's the only thing it does. ETH measures the value of the Ethereum community. Bitcoin measures the value of the Bitcoin community. The cell measures the value of the Celsius community. If we bring a lot of people, 100 million, it will be very valuable. If we can't bring anybody, it will be worthless.
Yes, so at what stage are you at? Are you raising fund? Are you MVP you've launched? We can give you our tokens already and get 9% interest. Where are you?
We are close to US investors. Today we're closing our public sale in half an hour. So we were open through March 15th to accredited investors in the US, and since then we blocked the United States for a variety of regulatory reasons. You can download our wallet, you can put Bitcoin or Ether into that wallet, you can earn 5% interest when we start issuing loans. That's not going to happen for probably until May or June when everything starts running. But today, I'm urging you to become a member and care about the community, and everybody you meet, you ask them, do you have a wallet? Can I send you a fraction of a coin? Thank you very much. I can keep going.